Hey everyone, this is Friedel Hugger, Asia Raven. I'm here with my recap and review of Naruto Next Generation's anime episode number 273, which is titled Farewell Academy. And yeah, the current Academy arc has come to a close, and it was a satisfying ending to the entire arc. And yeah, it was also kind of predictable when it comes to how the writers decided to handle Hana Sensei's fate moving forward. So the episode opens up with Kwaki and Himawari basically facing the evil Hana, and they are like, okay, Hana, why are you doing this? We need to protect Kai, you need to step away from her and everything. And Kwaki and Himawari are kind of ready to attack their own teacher because they don't necessarily know that she has like these multiple personalities, and this is where Kai ends up telling them that hey, wait, are the actual Hana Sensei, who when it comes to my written reviews, I refer her as Hana A. So that's the good Hana, and Hana B is the bad Hana. So I'll be using those names when I continue recapping this episode. So keep that in mind. So Kai is the one who tells Himawari and Kawaki that hey, Hana A is still in there, our actual teacher who cared for us. Now Hana B has taken over her body. So everything that Hana B did, Hana A had nothing to do with it. She doesn't even remember that she ended up doing all of this. So Kawaki's like, okay, so that makes this a bit difficult. We can't just necessarily kill her, because if you kill Hana B, then you also kill Hana A. And Hana B ends up using her fire release jutsus, which is kind of a very interesting jutsu. It's not just that she can create these fireballs, she can also control them a bit, and she starts shooting at Himawari and Kawaki, and both of them have to go and take cover. And they're like, you know what, we can't just sit there and do nothing. We have to put a stop to Hana B. And this is where Hana B is like, because she has Hana A's memories, she's like, okay, so Kwaki is definitely going to do something to protect Himawari, so she ends up attacking Himawari instead. And Kwaki comes in, he picks up Himawari, and yeah, Hana B ends up surrounding them with these, with a whole lot of fireballs, and she attacks Kwaki. And at first it's like, okay, so did Kwaki and Himawari get hit? But no, Kwaki ended up using his Shadow Clone Jutsu in order to distract Hana B, and then he goes in with a punch. Hana B dodges, Himawari goes in with her gentle fist, Hana B dodges that too, and then she is about to use like this kunai with an exploding tag on it, and Kawaki makes her throw that kunai away, and it lands near Kai, and yeah, that kunai will come into play later down in the episode. And Kawaki goes in for a punch, and this is where Hana B ends up pretending that she is back to being Hana A, and she emotionally manipulates Kwaki into not attacking her. And yeah, I think that was a very predictable move. When I was doing my written reviews for these episodes, I just knew that Hana B was going to pull such a move, and she did. And Kwaki hesitates, and that gives Hana B an opening to hit Kwaki, and he gets hit hard. And I'm like, well, Kwaki still has his ninja tech in his body, so he should be able to heal very quickly from these hits. And another thing that I didn't necessarily like in this particular episode is that Kwaki didn't use any of his ninja tech that's molded into his body. He should be molding his arms into weapons or something, or maybe even as a shield when he's protecting Himawari later down in the episode. So this is where Hana B is like, okay, so all I need to do is stall you guys, because my associates are coming on this ship, and the entire ship is filled with Jonin level ninjas, and once they're on the island, I'll kill you guys, and I'll also kill the rest of the kids. And she traps Kwaki, Himawari, and Kai in this wind release paper type jutsu, where she ends up creating this paper dome, and Kwaki, Himawari, and Kai aren't necessarily able to see anything. And then she ends up using her fire release jutsu in order to attack these three kids. And yeah, they are trying to dodge everything. And this is where Kai is like, I liked how Kai is the one who ended up thinking of this. She's like, you know what? It does feel like Hana B is using a lot of jutsu, and she can't just keep this up forever, right? She has to run out of chakra, right? And this is where Kwaki and Himawari are like, okay, so we just need to stall her. And Hana B is like, well, even if you stall me, it won't do you any good, because my associates are coming on the ship. So while all of that's happening, the kids are running towards the harbor. They're like, you know what, even if we are able to find a very small boat, we have to use a boat. We have to go to the mainland. We have to warn everyone about this. So they start running towards the shore. And this is where they encounter this man in a cloak. And I'm like, yep, that's Sai. You can tell that that's Sai. So yeah, Kai ends up telling them about her running out of chakra and everything, and how we have to save Hana A during this entire process and everything. And yeah, Kwaki's like, hey, Himawari, can you use the Byakugan to monitor her movements? And Himawari is like, well, I'm not able to use the Byakugan quite effectively. And Kwaki's like, hey, you're my teammate, right? We are in this together. We're all in this together. Himawari is like, yeah, we're in this together. I believe in myself, Kwaki. And Kwaki's like, yeah, believe in yourself, Himawari. So the fist bump, and Himawari ends up using her Byakugan in order to see through the dome and basically figure out where Hana B is. And while that's happening, Hana B is trying to attack Himawari, and because Himawari is just focusing on using the Byakugan, Kwaki comes in and he actually uses his own body in order to protect Himawari. And again, I'm like, mold your body into a shield or something, Kwaki. What the heck are you doing? So Kai sees her friends putting their lives on the line to protect her, and Kai is like, no, I can't just sit around and do nothing. So she picks up the kunai with the exploding tag that fell near her. She picks it up and she just throws it at one of the fireballs, and it turns out that Hana B was actually behind those fireballs. Yeah, I like the scene where Kai just threw the kunai. She ended up picking up a few things by attending the academy, even though she won't be becoming an official ninja. So yeah, the exploding tag explodes, and we get to see Hana B outside the dome. But however, she's like, no, I can't let this end here. So she ends up repairing the dome, and she starts running around the dome again. And yeah, Himawari is like, okay, lock on. And the moment she said lock on, I was like, yep, Hana B is done for. She is done for. So Himawari, because of her Byakugan, she's able to see through the dome, and she ends up following Hana B's movements around the dome, and she ends up pointing the movements towards. At first, I thought that she was going to point and tell Kwaki where Hana B is running, but no, she ends up using the gentle fist in order to destroy the dome herself, which I really like. That gives Himawari something to do, and of course, Hana B is shocked that Himawari is able to do that. She ends up Kwaki ends up hitting Hana B, and then she ends up repairing the dome again. Himawari again uses the Byakugan in order to figure out where Hana B is. She uses the gentle palm again, and this time Kwaki is ready, and Kwaki ends up hitting Hana B, and yeah, the dome disappears. Hana B is basically running on limited chakra right now, and Kwaki is like, yeah, don't underestimate my teammates, Sky and Himawari. So we get a little fight between Kwaki and Hana B. Again, Kwaki is stronger than Hana B. We know that. However, he needs to hold back because he's like, you know what? I can't just kill Hana A during the process. So Hana B is defeated, and she's like, you know what? It doesn't necessarily matter anymore. I have been working on this mission for basically a decade. I will be rewarded and everything. And Kwaki's like, just shush. Just close your mouth, because Hana A had nothing to do with whatever the heck you were doing. And Hana B is like, yeah, she drops and she's like next to a tree. And while that's happening, Hana B is like, yeah, you can't save Hana A. She's trapped inside of me. I will never let her out. And again, Kwaki, Kai, and Himawari are basically worried about how they're going to protect their sensei, and they're also worried about the fact that, you know what, those Jonin level ninjas on the boat, they have probably arrived at the village. However, it turns out that the kids arrive and they're like, Himawari, Kai, Kwaki, we're here. And we get to see that Sai is with the kids, and Sai is like, and Badura is with the kids as well. And Sai is like, well, thanks to the kids, we were able to come here immediately. So Sai starts to, he tries to understand what's happening, and he's like, okay, so that's Hana A. Or Hana B, right? Your sensei. So we need to apprehend her. We need to basically kill her, I guess. And we get a shot where Sai's team is able to keep Jonin level ninjas under control. Like these three kids, him, and her. These three kids are able to keep like Jonin level ninjas under control, and I'm like, okay, so Sai has really been teaching these kids. Like, who would have thunk that Sai would basically be the best instructor? But yeah, these kids are going places. So Hana B is like, no, 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 this can't be happening, this can't be happening, I can't lose, I can't lose. I ended up spending years on this mission, I have to and she's like, you know what, if I can't succeed, then I'll kill myself. And in the process, I'll also be killing your sensei. So she ends up activating this self-killing, suicidal, kamikaze jutsu kind of thing, where she is about to burn herself up. She's basically about to explode, and Sai is like, hey, we need to get out of here. Either we stop her ourselves, or we need to get out of here. And Kai is like, no, 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 we can't just leave. We can't just leave. Hana A, our sensei, is still in there. We have to call out to her. And this is where Hana B notices that she's losing control of her body, and the kids notice that, and they're like, well, we can call out to Hana A, right? She's still inside there. We have to call out to her. And Sai is like, Kwaki, we need to leave. And Kwaki is like, no, no, we need to stay. We have to try. We have to try to save our sensei. Which again, Kwaki does feel for his sensei. He feels for her. So everyone starts calling out Hana A's name. They're like, Hana Sensei, please come back to us. Please come back to us. We want to go to the flower viewing party again. We want to have fun with you, and yada, yada, yada. And yeah, that works. That works. Hana A is able to release herself from Hana B's control, and she appreciates all of the kids coming together in order to help her. She's very thankful. She's tearing up. And Sai is like, okay, that was unexpected. And Kwaki is like, yep, it just goes to show that in the end, Hana A was stronger than Hana B. And that's all that matters. So all of the kids and everyone are back at the village, and they're going over the report, and Sai is like, well, if we hadn't done all of the background checks on everyone involved in the case, we would have been in trouble. The background checks is what led us to figure out that Hana B was working with these Jonin level ninjas coming over to the island on the ship, so that's why we were able to stop them. And now the minister's entire plan in order to get rid of Kai and put her little brother on the throne, all of that plan has been stopped, and I think the things in the land of bamboo are kind of stable now. So we cut to Hana A, and it turns out that she's in the hospital, and Sakura's there, which makes sense. I'm not really sure if she's there because she's like the head of the hospital, or all of the medical stuff happening in Konoha, or maybe she's also here because she was also responsible for creating these counseling centers for kids after the war in order to cope with all of the trauma. So yeah, Sakura, yes, she's a doctor, but she also has skills when it comes to giving psychological help to other people. So I like that maybe she also she healed Hana A, and maybe she also offered her services when it came to analyzing Hana A's psychological well-being. So yeah, Hana A is like, you know what, I still want to continue being a teacher for the village. I want to stay in the village. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of risky, but it turns out that she'll be keeping Hana B inside of her, locked behind a sealing jutsu, and that she's being very empathetic towards Hana B, because she's like, Hana B knew nothing. She's basically a kid. All she knew was completing the mission and killing other people. So Hana B wants to teach her what it means to be a better person, what it means to be basically human and making human connections. And that's something that Naruto can relate with, especially because when it comes to Naruto and what he went through with Kurama. And yeah, this moment kind of made me feel sad, because Naruto doesn't have Kurama inside of him anymore. Kurama is basically dead, and Naruto ended up remembering Kurama. That was a bit of an emotional moment. So yeah, as far as Kai is concerned, the land of bamboo don't necessarily want all of this to get out. So whatever Hana A did, all of that will be kept secret, and I guess Naruto's ninjas will be keeping an eye on her. And he's like, okay, Kawaki, so you ended up learning a lot about teamwork at the Ninja Academy and making friends, right? And Kawaki is like, well, it's none of your business. So it's time for Kai to leave, because I guess her dad has fallen sick or something. He's collapsed, and she needs to go, and she needs to fulfill her duties as a princess and the one who's next in line. And she says goodbye to the rest of her class, and everyone is disappointed. And Kwaki isn't in class anymore, because they're like, well, ever since Kwaki told her that he's an actual ninja, he hasn't been attending the academy. And of course, Kai is sad that Kwaki didn't come to say goodbye to her. And the kids are like, hey, Kai, with you going, why don't we go and actually perform the school play that we weren't able to do before? And Kai is like, you guys will do this for me? And they're like, yep, we can do this. So Kwaki doesn't show up, and they ended up using one of Neon's drones as Lady Katsuyu. But yeah, Kwaki. By the end of all of this, Kwaki he does show up. He wears the costume. The kids perform. Everyone is happy. Kai was able to make more memories, and yeah, it's time for Kai to say goodbye. Hana A is there to say goodbye to her. All of the kids say goodbye, and they're like, "Hey, write to us and everything." And yeah, it's time. And again, Kwaki isn't there, and as the train is leaving, Batura and Kai is basically waving goodbye to her classmates and teacher. And yeah, Batura is very happy that Kai was able to make such memories and everything. And as the train is leaving, this is where Kai notices Kwaki standing up on this building. Not a building, basically like a structure, a supporting structure. And this is where she notices Kwaki as the train is leaving, and she waves goodbye to Kwaki, and she's like, "Kwaki, I met you, I saw you, I talked to you, I appreciate your friendship and everything. Thank you for everything." And Kwaki doesn't necessarily say anything. He doesn't even wave goodbye, and I'm like, Kwaki, the least you could do is wave goodbye to her. But it is what it is. So we cut to Naruto's house, and it's time for Himawari to attend the academy. I think it's the next day, and yeah, her parents and Boruto are like, "Okay, so you are really interested in becoming a ninja, right?" And Himawari is like, "Well, not necessarily. I haven't made up my mind yet, but attending the academy does allow me to try different things. So you know what? I'll figure it out as I figure it out." And Himawari and Hinata is like, "Well, Himawari is quite mature for her age, right?" And Naruto is like, "Yep, she's maturer than Boruto was at her age." And then the episode ends with Kwaki in his room, and he's looking at the picture of his classmates, and he's over here. We have Himawari. Where's Himawari? Here's Himawari. Here's Sky. And yeah, this entire arc was basically about Kwaki making new friends and realizing the importance of teamwork and everything. But I'm like, well, considering what happens to Kwaki later on in the manga, this arc, you can kind of skip this arc and you wouldn't be missing anything. In a sense. But you know what? Let's see. Maybe when the anime starts adapting those particular scenes from the manga, the writers will change some things and relate Kwaki's feeling back to him remembering how things were when he was attending the academy. Maybe, who knows. But anyway, if I end up doing a written review, this or the geeky read into my review, down in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought of Naruto Next Generation's anime episode number 273. Did you like the arc as a whole? I kind of liked it. It was predictable, but I kind of liked it. But then again, considering what happens to Kwaki later on, I'm not really sure what this arc was supposed to accomplish. But anyway, let me know what you thought. Until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed. See you guys later. Bye.